Liberals have a new reason to wet the bed. Millennials are moving to the right. According to the New York Times, the crucial part of the Democrat Party's electoral coalition that helped put Barack Obama in the White House has started voting Republican as they get older. Shock. All right, Jesse, are you shocked? I mean, when we're young, you tend to be rebellious. When you get older, you tend to be a little more responsible. What is your takeaway from this?
I don't have a takeaway. I talked to sources in the polling industry who gave me this takeaway. What they say is this is economic. Yep. They say in 2008, you have the crisis in the housing market. And since then, their economic futures have flatlined. Their housing purchasing power is naught. They have not gotten the wage gains they expected. And so they're kind of trapped where other generations were able to really advance economically. They have not been able to do that, and they're frustrated. The people a little bit older than they are very concerned with inclusivity. They're more concerned about being judged by other moms for not being inclusive enough. So on the one hand, you get Generation X, who really just cares about being accepted socially and not being called a bigot. And then the people generation, whatever millennials are, they just want to make more money and they don't care about equity.
All right. So, Dana, should the Democrats be troubled by this? And do they have a game plan to try to work this out?
I don't know if they have a game plan on this. I think this was probably inevitable, and they've a little bit factored it in. And Gen Z has woken up in a big way. If you look at the vote turnout in that Wisconsin Supreme Court election, they had like an 80% turnout and on the college campuses, and they were voting mostly against abortion. So the Republicans have lost some of the college-educated men and women, and college-educated men and women who are now millennials, who are having children and they can't find a house to buy, and they're frustrated with a lot of things. The Democrats will try to run up the score on abortion. The bigger problem that Democrats have is with Hispanics, because that number is definitely decreasing for Democrats. So we'll see how that goes.
You know, AOC and Bernie Sanders, Greg, said, you know what, just charge everybody more taxes. Now this generation is at the point where they're paying taxes. Is that part of it?
That's it. In fact, think, work, pray. No, think, work, pay.
Eat, pray, love.
You're getting it. I'm going to do an impression of you in a second. Think, work, and pay is the eat, pray, and love of a generation embracing reality. It's you see a young woman that embraces the rights of abortion, all of a sudden starts thinking about actual children, right? You're seeing this shift as you get older, right? This is where I become Jesse. You become less attractive, right? So you care less about what people think. Well, you care less about what people think.
Yeah, as a woman, as a woman. Age gracefully.
But you discover that virtue signaling.
What Don Lemon would say.
Yes, exactly. But you realize that virtue signaling is for suckers. You have to start dealing in the substance of reality. You care less about what people think and more about what you can do to make your family better. You start paying the bills. You write 2 checks on April 15th. It feels like you're being assaulted because you get 0 from it. And you start a family. You enjoyed Pride Month, Jesse, brunching all the time.
Pride
it was
Month
great.
For me, Greg, is all year round.
You had rainbows in your apartment, even when they weren't outside. But now that's starting to look like a luxury. You were for trans rights, but you don't want trans activists telling your kids which pronouns to use. That's what you do as a parent. So as you age out of all these, like what Tyrus would call like first world problems, first world issues. And you start dealing with real world issues, and all of this stuff looks like garbage.
Okay, Jessica, wrap it up.
Okay, so as the only Democrat at the table,
No.
I will say, someone speak now or forever hold your peace.
Use your time wisely.
Okay.
I'm an old school Democrat.
Yeah, it's another Kennedy thing with you. This is just what happens. And people come back around when they've made a lot of money, right? So all the mega donors are boomers, right? And they're all 60-somethings sitting in boardrooms, giving out hundreds of millions of dollars to whatever causes that they please. This is the natural evolution as, yes, you start to pay more in taxes, you have a family.
Less attractive.
Was that directed at me as a 39-year-old Democrat? I do think, and Nate Cohn, who put out this piece and did the polling on it, noted we don't know the true impact of the Dobbs decision, that this is a kind of seismic shift in terms of the political... Jackson v. Dobbs. A woman's right to control her own body.
Nate Cohen or Cone?
Cone.
There's no E.
Don't be.
We know you can't spell.
Anyway, so we have to see how strong this shift ends up being. But of course, you're going to be concerned at any time that you could lose any voters.
The point is, you've become more conservative as you had a family. You have.
Really?
Admit it, Jessica.
What?
Yes.
What?
You have.
You said build a wall in the green room.
I heard you.
Yep.
You even
You
chanted
heard
it.
you.
Coming up, Greg's worst nightmare has come true. What it is next on The Five.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.